to your bank.
You gotta go to the bank and then you gotta like
slide that card
get the
in
money
there,
from the card.
and then they ask how much you want, and then they
like
get it.
$1,000, but okay.
And then
that fresh money just slide out.
Yeah, and then you gotta get a receipt.
See that?
Yeah, give him the hand snatch and say no. Do you know why? No. Oh, I'm glad you asked. I think I know a little bit about it. Debit card is actually connected, you know?
Debit card, you have to like, I think you have to, or it's the credit card where you have to like pay to use it, and then debit card where you can go to the bank and put money on it. Like my 15-year-old brother has one.
Oh, that's why my mom always says debit whenever they actually want to use credit.
So what happens is a debit card is connected to a checking account. So if you have money in your checking account at your bank, then you can use your card. But if you don't have money in your bank, you can't use your card. So that's why sometimes you're like, man, your parents might say, I don't have any money. Yeah, you do. You know, you got a debit card. Yeah, but that don't mean you actually have money. It means you have a card. A card is just that. If it's not connected, I'll show you my card. You know, this card, it looks cute and all of that. But if I don't have any money in my account, it means nothing but a big old. You ever heard that at the store? Oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
It actually happened to me last week. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm kind of going on down the road. I had a breach, and a breach is basically when somebody else uses your card, you didn't tell them to, and that happened. Sonic had a big one, and man, I was trying to get some cheese fries at lunch. Might have been a chili cheese dog maybe, and went there, and somebody else got my number while I was there, and I forgot about it. But guess what? They didn't forget about it. So when I went to go use my card, it gave the big and it wasn't because I didn't have money in my account. It was because they put a flag on my account so nobody else could get money out of it. So I had to get a new card.
Okay. It's good to have a bank account because if you have all your money like in hand, you're gonna want to spend it all in like 1 or 2 days. And so if you have it in a bank account, you'll be limited on the days.
So you're protecting yourself, right, from spending. You know, like me, my wife will tell me, she's like, you know what, you can't have no cash. You know what I mean? Because every time you have cash, you spend it. So I try my best, like I'll show y'all. I try my best not to have, I mean, I got a card, you know.
That's so little.
But the card, you know what the card does? It lets my wife know that I just spent money. You guys are 8th graders, so it don't matter. But, I mean, I started riding the bus when I was 7 years old. My mom was already gone for work, so she had to be at work at 6 o'clock. So I had to get myself up. Had a key, had the old school shoestring around my neck type deal. But I had to be responsible enough to put myself on the bus. Well, to make ends meet, my mom had a second job. So when I got out of school, I had to let myself in. So I had to make sure I ate, make sure I locked the door and didn't let anybody in. Who knows about that? When you get home from school, don't you let nobody in this house. If you do, I'm gonna whoop yo. Yeah, that was me. I was that kid. But one thing that my mom did, even though, well, one thing she did is she never let me know that we didn't have a lot. Because she taught me that love, respect, I mean, all of those things were way more important than a dollar. And what else she did is she's doing what you guys parents are doing now. She put me in groups like Lead4life. For me, it was a Boys and Girls Club. Who know about the Boys and Girls Club? Okay, gotcha. That's where I spent a lot of my time growing up. And while I was there, I met a guy. He was 18, I was 8 years old. Started like a mentor thing. He was in college at the time at Bradley in Peoria. He was from here also. And ultimately, we had a relationship. He goes to college, he comes back, starts working at a bank, and me and him got back together. He ends up marrying a cousin of mine and started talking to me just about finances, like 19, 20 years old. I never forget, got this story where wanted this car, it's a nice Maximum. Back then, I think, y'all know who Lil Wayne is. I know all y'all know. Okay. Well, at that time, Wayne was probably 17, 18 years old. I was straight cash money. I had just transitioned from, who knows Master P? No Limit? Yeah, okay. That's a, okay. Well, I was transitioning from that, so I was all about, back then it was bling bling. You know, when you ride around the city, bling bling. Anybody heard that song? Something worth about 50 bling bling. Y'all heard that? That was Wayne when he first came out. That's how, if y'all look it up, that's when Wayne first, I think it was 500 Degrees. Y'all ain't even heard that, have y'all? See, that was when Wayne first came out. Well, that's all was in my mind. I was 19, 20, got a job. I said, man, I'm finna go get this car. I can pay for it. Talked to my cousin, who's now my cousin. Back then, he was my mentor. He said it wasn't a good thing, man. I think you need a car. You just don't need that one. Didn't actually want to listen to him, but I kind of gleaned off of what he had at that time. So I was like, all right, man, I'm not gonna get it. He said, you can get it later in life. He said, you need something just to get you to work. So I ended up buying a little small blue Toyota Corolla. My guys clown me. I still was listening to Wayne. I put some music in the trunk just so I thought that I was cool. I didn't look cool. At least the music sound good, I guess, when we got in the car. You know, one of those things. Well, 3 years later, I ended up meeting my wife, buying my first house. And the reason I was able to do that is because I didn't hurt my credit. The car that I would have bought would have put me in a debt service, and I'll teach you guys as we go, where basically I couldn't afford it. I wouldn't have been able to afford a house and a car at the same time. And I know one of the old sayings my mom used to say is, big cattle, no ranch. If y'all don't listen to nothing I say today, remember this. It's when you go to somebody's house and their car is, sitting on, they still doing 26s, 28s, Wraiths. Who know about the Wraiths? What is a Wraith? Y'all don't know Wraiths? That's new school. Okay, who know who Cardi is? Cardi B. Cardi B. She always talking about a Wraith. You know, Nikki, she always talking about Wraith. That's Rolls Royce. That's the Wraith. Well, I wanted that. Couldn't get that. I just went all left. But yeah, all of that. Well, at 22, was able to buy my first house. Not because I had a lot of money, it's because my credit was good and I knew somebody that was at the bank. By 27, bought my second house. At that time, both of the houses that I bought before, who knows Garden Hills area? Who knows the Hills? South Hills. You know South Hills? Okay. That's kind of where I grew up. That's where I bought my first two houses. Well, by 32, bought my third house, went from Cherry Hills to Garden Hills to Cherry Hills.